Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
You haven't been in Scrum for a few days.
I know.
Okay. Well, and I don't believe you were here when Wasim fixed the cores issue.
That was yesterday, right?
I believe so. Manan, that was you and Wasim, correct? Maybe that was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Any changes? What happened there exactly? Could you explain so Adrian's caught up on what changes occurred?
So right now, we can only allow one URL in the course.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And if I use list format to allow multiple URLs, then it is showing error.
Even from the local, or this is for Google Cloud Platform?
That's for Google Cloud Platform.
Okay. So we can't have the staging connecting or requesting for information in the database?
If you want to use the same server, same backend server for both the main and the staging, then it's I am still figuring out, like, is there any other way to use the same one? But if it doesn't work, then we have to create one more staging in the backend side,
Oh,
front end staging.
So we need a staging server, but then we also need a backend server too, a staging backend server.
but okay. So
Doesn't really make sense though.
my question is how is the website in TernKey asking the same server, and it's okay, but once the staging asks for something, that it's getting denied?
Yeah, that's a good point. We should look at how TernKey is doing it and do it the same way. That makes
Is it because of the subdomain? Is it because TernKey is under www.turn.ac/turnkey? Maybe we have to change it to that for the staging.
That's also a good point that completely negates your first point.
Oh,
Manan, just
No, like-
question so why can't we use the environment variables for example we can just store the the address in an environment variable and just based on the production or staging or something like that we can change that values. So in that way we don't need to choose multiple we don't need to put the multiple domains in a list or something like that. You understand?
So you mean to say, like, but then also we will need another server for this. We have to run production differently and development differently. We can't we can't run both the things in same server,
but
or can we?
Actually, I think yes, because normally at every places we are doing this because we don't change literally the codes for the stage. We are running exactly the same code for staging and development actually, but I think we can. I think so.
I don't know. I don't from what I've seen on pipeline setups, it doesn't seem like you're supposed to use the same server. It seems like you're supposed to use a server that is identical but has dummy data. It doesn't seem like you're supposed to use the same one. I just didn't think we were going to need to do a subdomain and a separate dummy server data, but it seems like we need to do the server for the data. And it's not really a conversation we can get too deep without Wasim anyway. So it's probably best to have Wasim and Kerman in the conversation to resolve these issues so we can address these at another time. Right now, it's a lot of speculation, but good food for thought. So, Sangeet, how about you get us started off on Scrum? What your update is for us?
Yeah, I completed the developer profile, and I'll create a PR for that. But its integration is pending, but it's always based on the backend functions. Like that is done.
Okay. So do you have a task ahead of that after you make your pull request today? Do you have anything else lined up?
Nothing else.
Okay. So yeah, that's definitely going to be something for you, Adrian. It seems like we're going to have to splay out a couple of tasks for people today and tomorrow.
Yeah.
Jomar, how about you? What's your update for today? Or yesterday and today? Can't hear you, Jomar.
No.
Hello.
There you go.
So I have no updates for yesterday actually. And for today, I'll start with working with the loaders as Adriana said.
Oh, okay. Okay. What are you working on today?
Adding a loader for TernKey.
Okay. Oh, a loader, like a Adrian, that's like that
Yes,
rant
a
that little.
spin.
Yeah, let's use I mean, can we use this? I don't know if we can use this. Or what we might be able to do, because I don't really want you working with spline, and I also don't want you working with something that could slow down everything. So let's have a placeholder for now. In the future, we'll get somebody to make a nice Blender version of this that's programmer friendly and easy to work with. But for now, I mean, why don't we could use this and like spinning, or we could just use your regular loading thing and just figure out how to implement it. Like, not a big deal. Your regular loader, figure out. Okay, JP, what's your update for us?
I completed the testing pull request by Maxim on the TernKey yesterday, and for today I'm currently working on completing the pushing of the fix for emulator copy and paste function.
Okay, great. Sounds like you got your work cut out for you. Malika, how are you doing? What's your update for us? Have you been assigned a new task yet?
Yes, Gary. The new task was assigned to me, and I'm working on it. I removed one thing, and I should be removing another thing from the page. So I'm working on it.
Oh, and can you remind everybody what section that is? What page? Okay, Adrian, do you know where Malika's working on?
Yeah, she's working on the settings modal where we're taking off the profile, the general section, and also the there's another one. There's another
Security.
tab on there that she's which one?
Security. Security.
Yes, that's it.
Got it. Okay. And Gautam, did you have a chance to talk to Kerman? What'd you do yesterday, and what are you getting into today? Do you have?
I need to connect with Kalman. I have done whatever tasks he has given to me. I mean, whatever he asked me. So,
Well,
and
when's the last time you spoke with Kerman?
2 days ago,
Okay.
and I have pushed all the changes to the feature branch
Okay. So
today.
you're all caught up when it comes to the testing, and you
Mm.
need to talk to Kerman to go any further, correct?
I mean, I can complete. I mean, all the test cases for backend today. It's almost 70% done. I have covered like authentication, payments, email, and all. There are few more. I mean, I need to cover. I can complete it today for the backend report. I mean,
Understood.
the unit cases.
Okay.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, Manan, the video I'm doing is gonna be more. I'm looking at a bunch of like YouTube stuff. I'm dreaming up some sort of uh, generic ad that's just gonna be like 20 seconds that fits on an Arch thing. You know, the original reason why we wanted Arch was to advertise TernKey.
Yeah.
So I'm looking into having a nice, like, interesting advertisement for Turn as the company. Just like, you know, something that's very like cinematic, just like a raindrop and like a little kind of good media music in the background, and just saying like a very general sense of, you know, we're focused on computers, and something along the lines of the world isn't binary, why would a computer be? Something like that, and then showing tech graphics and stuff. So I'm gonna look into that, and you know, something we could throw on YouTube as well. And just I want to start making a couple of like little marketing material that's like one just for the company in general, so that people can understand more easily, one just for Arch, one just for TernKey, and all are mostly just going to be like visually appealing, so that you're not distracted, and then just you know, recorded audio of what it is, so that it's not so it's easy to get the point. Okay, so I know Gautam wanted to start hopping into more of a so we have plans for JP and Gautam to both start contributing to code more. Gautam, not sure where he wants to go. JP, I know Maxim wants to place him in his Maxim's boot camp, and basically have JP understand how Maxim built the website, like what rules he used, what techniques he used, so that JP can, you know, follow his lead and build and improve the website in the same manner, so that he's benefiting from all of the great code and structures that Maxim has written, as far as, you know, like how to treat your divs, how to reuse a function, how to reuse this, yada yada yada. So yeah, so
I
if you have time,
100% support that.
yeah, JP, if you have time today, we would love to get started on that. After, or maybe what you could do, JP, is you could sit on the pull request session with Adrian and Maxim, because I know they're going to have to go through a good amount of pull requests today. And from there, Maxim could slowly, you could at least start learning more and more, and Maxim may be able to throw you some tasks at the same time. Because to catch you up, Adrian, and everyone else for that matter, on what Maxim has moved on to is I finished designing the breakpoints for all of them. So we have everything from an iPhone SE, so the tiniest iPhone screen. We have everything from portrait and landscape, all the way up to as big as it gets, because this goes up to 1440, which is treated slightly different than 1920. But after 1920, you're just going to start seeing something that's like it's just gonna keep on like zooming away from the 1920 version of it. I'm not really sure how other companies deal with that, but like that's the maximum is 1920, and after that, I suppose it's treated like IBM. It would just like start turning into something like this, or maybe it just stays the same and just as long as the ratio is fine.
Yeah, I think it's just the proportions are the same, but it's just that you have more space and margins on the sides and on the bottom.
Yeah, zooming in and out actually ruins the responsiveness. Yeah, so all that's done, and it's also done for TernKey, which is really important because there's already been a couple of use cases where I wish I was able to test something out on TernKey on my phone. Like I just wanted to input some code that Imam messaged me just to test out some logic stuff. Like I didn't have to do a whole thing, and I wasn't able to. So it'd actually be great if we were able to get TernKey to work on more breakpoints. And so Maxim's just doing all that, and in order to do that, he had to jump into TernKey. And so what he's doing in TernKey that's different than just breakpoints is he was what were you doing? You kind of just like I believe he was converting CSS to Tailwind was a big part of it.
Yes, and reusing the code from the website.
Yeah, and reusing code from website. So like, for modals that have been updated a lot on the website, basically taking that same logic and giving TernKey a facelift with all of the new things that we've been using. And then another thing I definitely want to touch on is the syntax highlighting, because we definitely have to treat it a different way. I know you reverted, Adrian.
Yeah.
What the heck? Oh, why are we at API.turn.in? Where did that come from? Why am I going here when I click TernKey? What the heck just happened there? Okay, I'm here. Okay, for some reason, this link is sending me to api.turn.ac. So, Maxim, I don't know why that's happening. I click this, it's sending me to api.turn.ac. That's not supposed to happen. Okay. That is okay. Well, something's messed up because this says I'm at TernKey, but then this brings me to the application. All right, we gotta fix something there. It's not broken, but so this works right now. But with the syntax highlighting, I mean, you could see a lot of the issues, Adrian, with like the text wasn't aligning. You couldn't tell where you were, kind of stuff. So have you had any ideas on a better method of syntax highlighting? Or?
Yeah, that was a pretty minor solution. I have it already in the solution in my other computer. It's just a matter of like, because the text area is on top or on one div is on top of another div, and one of them is not transparent. It needed to be. So, and that's how syntax highlighting works, is that you put a pre tag on top of this text area div or text area tag, and then make one of them transparent. So that's what was the issue. But I took that all off for now. The syntax highlighting.
Yeah, we got a little time. I was just thinking about just two things. One, I wanted to take some, and I also got to wait for Maxim's changes for responsiveness to come through, because I don't want to take a fake screenshot of this zoomed out. But I do want to take a a great looking screenshot of the whole thing having output and syntax highlighting and everything. And Imam and I are we're closing in on finishing the G manual. And the only way to write the manual for the website and for TernKey is to use syntax highlighting in some areas. And before we do start pasting the full manual in here, I want to make sure that we have syntax highlighting available in case we realize like it messes up the text and we have to put it in a separate div or something.
Okay.
So, but we don't have to rush that. Let's definitely prioritize pull requests with Maxim and getting JP set up, and also making sure Sangeet has his next task lined up.
Just to clarify what we've done for the alpha and then what we're doing for the beta. What's our goals this time for the 15th?
Yes, so for now it was just to make sure that it was the alpha has been completed on time on the 15th because we're able to use it through the website and we were able to log in. And that's the most important. We also filled in the last chapter of the G manual. So now Imam and I are just doing cleanup, and we're doing cleanup on TernKey. So the biggest goals for TernKey are to have the two big things: a fully functioning sidebar where everything works, and favorites, and the favorites and the my keys sections have to work. So really you can just treat them as one section. So the storage and retrieval of keys has to be perfect, and the entire sidebar has to be perfect. So those are the two areas that are going to wrap up the whole application as being finished. The profile, that's easy. We're almost completely done with that anyway. The modals and the information are really easy, and half of them go back to the website anyway. But the way that favorites and my keys store keys, allow you to edit keys, allow you to share keys, delete keys, this is a lot of back-end heavy stuff. And same with, and to add one more in there, I would add in the explore keys page as well. And how that operates. So those three areas, the management of keys in the database, the experience a user has with explore keys, and the functionality of the sidebar are the three things that we have left to perfect. And right now we really don't have any idea how they're operating, because we need to make it so I can purchase a turnkey plan and be allowed to use the sidebar, because
Right.
I've never tested out the sidebar because I've never been able to purchase a plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the website?
The goals with the website?
Yeah.
Well, you can see we chopped off a few limbs. We're making it much more simplistic, so as to not have everything under construction. So right now, looking at this, we only have 4 categories up here. We're not even calling it products and services because we only have one of each, obviously. And the pages that need to get fixed here are mostly just tricky logic things, a bunch of tiny things with the website, like nothing, a lot of tiny things like I have to find, like such as TernKey. One of the issues I notice here is that right now, let me log out. Right now, the only thing I should be able to see here is the word is manual. I shouldn't even be able to see plans. And the reason behind that is because plans it's saying that my current plan is the basic plan. And obviously we have to fix some padding here. There's no need for this much padding. And these are way too much padding for these guys and this guy. So we have to close that up too. But I shouldn't even be able to see plans because right now I'm on a freemium plan, right? I'm not even logged in.
Right.
So in order to even have a basic plan and to append it to someone, I would need to have a profile. And further, I shouldn't be able to, this button, manage subscription, and I believe the billing resolution center, both of these shouldn't show up here. Have an existing plan should show up over here. And yeah, only limit supply should be here, because if I click manage subscription, there's nothing there because basic plan isn't a subscription. And then when I go back to billing, somehow I am in the my turn profile and billing section, even though I don't even have I'm not even logged in. So
do we have a deadline for this one?
no, this is just stuff that I just throw at Maxim and just see what like I throw any complaint I have, I just tell Maxim, and then he either fixes it right away or he knows it's an issue. And then you and him do PRs, and then I see what's on main and I see what's been fixed. So it's just like a when I notice it kind of thing.
Is it okay if you share with me this list so that one, I'm prepped for whatever PR he's giving me, and I'm expecting something from it? You know, like there's an actual bar that we're setting, and I'm not just like checking it because he's showing it to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. So
if you can share me like the things that you're seeing on the website, could you put, if you don't mind, putting on a list that you can share with me so I can see it, and maybe even share it and maybe assign some stuff to the developers, because then it'd be good for the team to actually dip their toes inside that code.
Yes, I agree. And I want to yeah, I feel like today we can go like just a list. I'll just speak a list. But tomorrow when we do the meeting with Imam, I'd like to set up an actual Google Sheet where you and I do more on hands management. Right now, and it's tough though with the website, because what happens is Maxim starts telling me like, oh, that was fixed on the develop, that was fixed on the develop. I'm like, oh my God, I have no idea what the state of the website is right now. And I'm only concerned with the end result, because if I start checking develop and staging, like staging, I can kind of check because I know it's on GCP kind of thing, but I feel safest looking at the actual website and what happens. You know, like I said before, where a user is sitting is where I want to seat myself. And
right,
because I'm talking to people at events and whatnot and networking stuff. And it's not until I get all the way through to there, you know, it could be like, oh, look, this guy was using an iPhone 13 and he had this problem. Like those are the kind of issues I notice, kind of thing. Like I run into networking issues where I have to completely change my strategy, and I can't show things. I just have to talk. So like I run into the problems you never really think you're going to run into. Or even somebody has a certain blocker on their phone. Somebody had something where their camera wasn't even asking them for permission to be used. Like they had permission completely always denied, auto denied on their phone, which was definitely weird. That was an outlier. And so Arch didn't even work. I was like, oh, what? You already have it denied. So weird issues like that. What I'd like, in order to tell you what bugs need to be fixed on the website, we need what we need you to do, Maxim, is not fix any bugs. We need you to get caught up on pull requests with Adrian, and then just work on the breakpoints and whatnot. And then Adrian and I can finally go through the website and be like, all right, these are currently the things and the flows that are going in the wrong way. And then we can fix them per PR, along with breakpoint stuff and general UI stuff. So let's do that, Adrian. After you and Maxim feel like you're caught up and we get it merged with main, staging and then main, you and I can just go through and talk about the logic, and so that you and I both understand exactly how this website is supposed to operate and exactly how it's supposed to work. We're finally out of Figma. Maxim's in Figma. JP's kind of in Figma, but JP kind of doesn't even need to be in Figma because the specs are all, if you're looking at Figma, the specs are all off. They're mostly an outline to follow for Maxim because he has defined so many things as like classes and global functions and everything that's spread out everywhere. So like his padding stays the same for certain things. A lot of his buttons are just being shared and whatnot. So he has a whole lot of cookie cutter stuff going on. So I'm not going to ruin that by saying, oh, this one should be slightly different for no reason whatsoever.
Right.
So all of Figma we're almost out of the woods with Figma.
It's in our best interest to use reusable components.
Exactly. Yes. Okay. Well, that's Scrum, everybody. Thank you. Anybody have any questions or comments? Good. All right. If Sangeet doesn't have anything to say, then nobody must.
Unless Ashutosh is here, but you know.
Sangeet always has just a wrench. He's just waiting to throw in the gears. Okay, boom. All this is broken.
Actually, I do have a question.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
So the question is that actually, are we just taking care of this that security tokens? Like we have the bearer tokens, right? We just talked about that day. So are we just taking care of that in just the beta version? Like in the next version?
Wait, what?
I don't know.
What's your question, Sangeet? It's
See,
about bearer tokens.
We had a security vulnerability. So we just thought like, so we are just storing that token in the cookies, and it's pretty fine, but right there. But actually, we just had a security issue right there. Now.
Yeah.
Okay, so are we taking care of this in the next version, like in the beta version?
Yes.
Okay.
We're gonna put that as a priority, but I also believe that we should talk, you, me, and Maxim should talk about that because he's also has questions about security in the website and what best practices is and what we've decided from that conversation between you, me, and Ashutosh a long time ago.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but yeah, let's set up a meeting for that as well. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm done, Gary.
All right, everyone. That's Scrum. Thank you. Talk to you guys later.